of Yorktown. 1781.
Monsieur Hamilton,
Monsieur Lafayette,
in command when you belong.
I say no sweating. We're finally on the field. We've had quite a run.
Immigrants, we get the job done.
So what happens if we win?
I go back to France and bring freedom to my people if I'm given the chance.
We'll be with you when you do.
Go, lead your man.
See you on the other side.
Here we meet again.
I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. And you look just like my country. I'm just scrappy and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot.
Hey, what's up, guys?
To the walls and to the side down.
Happy Wednesday. So I'm wearing this just to show you the absolute genius of a teacher that I am. So I don't have any masks, surgical masks, to wear when I need to. So here's what you do. You cut the sleeve off of a t-shirt and just put the sleeve over your face like this, and you have a mask, huh? Big brain. Big brain. There you go. So there is your safety tip for the day. Hope you guys are doing good. So yeah, like I said, today is Wednesday, and as I mentioned yesterday, we are going to do some review today. A couple of questions from the test, and then we'll call it a day. So a couple things I want to clear up real quick. One of the questions I keep getting quite a bit from people is how to turn assignments in. We've gone over this before, so let me try and tell you guys again. The easiest thing to do is to go ahead and do the work on a separate sheet of paper, and then you can go ahead and take a photo or a picture of that with your cell phone and then email me that picture. Especially with the test, you'll note that on the test there's a couple places where you have to make a number line, you've got to do a box and whisker plot, and you've got to do a histogram. So in cases like that, you may want to just make sure that you draw that on your separate sheet of paper. Okay? So I think that's it for that. Tomorrow we're going to go over the test together. So let's get right into it. Get started with some just a couple of review things here. Now, guys, you don't have to do this. This is not an assignment. This is just us going over a couple of questions. All right? Let me fix the windows here. All right, there we go. So, like I just said, this is not an assignment. You don't have to turn this in. This is just us going over some stuff. So the first thing I want to go over is standard deviation. I have some problems on here that we can work out together. And standard deviation is one of the questions on your test. So let's kind of go over it. So the first question here says, given a normal distribution. So remember, standard deviation only works if the bell curve is nice and equally distributed. So if I have my bell curve here, it needs to be kind of even looking, distributed evenly. So question asks, what percent of all values are less than one standard deviation from the mean? All right, so if this is the mean, you guys should have remembered this. This will be one standard deviation, 2, and then 3. So how far is it one standard deviation from the mean? 68%. Right? Question number 2. Given a normal distribution, what percentage of all values are less than 2 standard deviations? So now we're here. What percentage fall within 2 standard deviations? 95%. Last question, again, normal distribution. What percentage of all values are within 3 standard deviations? So now we go back all the way out to the 3rd standard deviation, and if you guys remember, it is 99.7%. Good job. All right. Let's move on to question 4. All right, question 4. Given an approximate normal distribution with a mean of 175 and a standard deviation of 37. All right, so now we got some numbers to put in here. Let's get rid of this. All right, so the mean is 175. Standard deviation is 37. It's probably easy when we have problems like this. The first thing we want to do, once we know what the mean is and the standard deviation is, we can go ahead and fill in the other numbers. Okay, so let's do that. 175, my standard deviation is 37. So plus 37 is 212. So one standard deviation to the plus is 212. Plus 37 more is 249. And then plus 37 more is 286. Okay, now let's go in the other direction. 175 minus 37 is 138. Minus 37 again is 101. And minus 37 again is 64. Okay, so there is all of our labeling done. In fact, letter A, draw a normal curve and label 1, 2, and 3 standard deviations. Always the best thing to do. So you can just go ahead and set it up, and then we can answer the questions this way. What percent of values are within the interval 138, 212? All right, so here's 138, and here is 212. One standard deviation to the left, one to the right. So within one standard deviation, 68%. Pretty easy. Letter C. Let me scroll this up so you guys can see it, maybe. Letter C. What percent of values are the interval 101 to 249? All right, so here's 101, and here's 249. These, the second deviation to the left, second deviation to the right. Within two deviations, we know it's 95%. Okay? Letter D. What percent of values are within the interval 64 here and 286 here? 3 standard deviations. We just answered this question up in one of the earlier questions. We know that's 99.7%. Letter E. What percent of values outside the interval 138 and 212? 138 here and 212. Now, be careful of the question. You know how these standardized tests always try to throw you a curveball with goofy questions. Here's a great one. It says, let me scroll it up so you guys can see it. What percent of values are, they forgot the R, but outside this interval? Not between it, not within it, outside. So, not here, but everything else from here to here. Well, what's inside? 68%, right? So all I have to do is take 100%, which is all of it, and then subtract 68%, and that will leave me what's left over. So 100 minus 68, 32%. So the answer to that question would be 32% fall outside of that interval. What percent of values are outside? Again, 101 and 249. So let's change this. Here's 101. Here's 249. We don't want inside the interval. It doesn't say within the interval. It says outside, this way and this way, not what's in here. But what is in here? 95%, right? Because it's within 2 standard deviations. This is 2 to the left. That's 2 to the right. This is 95%. So what's left over to be on the outside? 5%. Okay? If you really wanted to get technical and you wanted to break it down, there's 2.5% here and 2.5% here, right? Because this plus this is 5%. Last one. Again, letter G, the question again is, what percent of values are outside the interval? 64 here to 286 here. Dude, this is all 3 standard deviations. So what percent, remember it's asking outside, not inside. What percent is inside? Well, we know that 3 standard deviation is 99.7%. So how much does that leave outside? What's 100, which is the full percent, the full thing, minus 99.7? It's only 0.3%. All right? So there you go. Just give you some questions related to standard deviation. Hopefully, you guys, that helps you out a little bit with that. All right? Let's move on to one more type of review that I'd like to do here. Let's get rid of that. I don't need that. This is Hamilton, by the way, guys, if you don't know the music the musical Hamilton, one of the best musicals ever. Let's go and practice one box and whisker plot graphing. All right, we have a question almost exactly like this. Let's just do the first one here. How many got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All right, that's fine. So, first thing we got to do. Now remember, box and whisker plot, I'm looking for 5 things. The lowest number, the minimum. The highest number, the maximum. Those are 2. Then I've got quartile 1. Quartile 2, which is the median. Remember, Q2 is always the median. And then quartile 3. I need those 5 points. And then I'm going to plot those 5 points on that number line. So, first thing we got to do, put everything in order. Pain in the butt, but we got to get it done. So, let's put our numbers in order. I got 3, 4, 5, 6, no 7. There's an 8 and a 9. 8, 9, and a 10. An 11. We got a 12 there. Nope. 13. 14. No. 15. No. 16. 17. 18. No 19. No 20. Looks like just 22, 23, 24. 22, 23, 24. Is that 13? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And whoa, look at how I just evenly spaced that out on the whiteboard. And it's amazing that this kind of instruction is free for you guys. Like, you're not paying for this. This kind of quality, penmanship, and spacing, that's private school kind of level there, and it's free for you guys. It's incredible. All right, so now we can go ahead and answer our questions. Let's get our 5 points, right? Minimum. Obviously, that's 3. Maximum. Obviously, that is 24. All right? Now, let's go with median first, because you want to get that median, know where that is, so that we can do quartile 1 and quartile 3. So you always do your minimum, maximum, then go to your median. So median here is going to be, what, there's 13 numbers. So it's going to be the 7th number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, this one. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 and 6 on either side. So my median is 10. Now, let's find our quartile 1 and quartile 3. So remember, guys, quartile 1, quartile 3 is the median, again, but of the lower half of numbers and then the upper half of numbers. So here is the median here, right? And on the lower half, I've got 6 numbers. So where is the center going to be? It's going to be between the 3rd and the 4th number, right here. Now it's between them. So what is between 5 and 6? What's the halfway point? It's 5.5. Again, if you want to take the long route, add 5 and 6 together and divide by 2. 11 divided by 2 is 5.5. Now let's do the same thing up here. Here's the median. Again, it's 6 numbers. So it's going to be between the 3rd and the 4th number right here. So what do we have? We have 18 and 22. Let's take the average. 18 plus 22 is 40. Divided by 2 is 20. Boom. So quartile 1, Q1, whoops, Q1 is 5.5, and Q3 is 20. And don't forget, Q2 is the same thing as median, so I'll put Q2 kind of in parentheses there. So now, guys, all we got to do is graph this and create our box and whisker. So, oops, that's not good. So here is our number line. All right, what are the odds I can do this in 20, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. What are we going up to? We're going up to 20. Oh, God. Is this going to make this? Yeah, we'll make it. 18, 19. Oh, they go to 25? Oh, dude, wrecked. Man, that's just wreckage. I thought it went to 20. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. Oh, that is incredible. I might, you know what? I might just do a GoFundMe page for appreciation for how good that is right there. All right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, wait, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and then 25. All right. So there's our number line. What do we have to do? These 5 points we're going to graph on this number line. So let's start with the minimum. That's 3 right here. Put a dot on 3. Maximum, 24. The median is 10. So there's our median. Q1, 5.5. So it's going to be in between 5 and 6 right there. And then Q3 is 20. Close enough? Yeah, that's 20. Okay. So now I got my 5 dots on the number line. Now we draw the box. The box, guys, if you remember, the 3 middle dots make up the box. So here's 1, 2, 3. That's the box. The middle is my median right there. And then I draw my whisker. 1 here, and I put a line. 1 to there, and I put a line. Okay? So box and whisker plot. Now, here is an additional question for you. This is from the measures of spread lesson. What would be the interquartile range? So, remember, the interquartile range is the range of the box, because that's the quartiles. Quartile 1 is right here. Q1, Q2, if you want to call the median the second quartile, and Q3. So just remember that the box is made up of the quartile points. So the interquartile range is just the range of the box. From 20 to 5.5 would be 14.5. Okay? So there you go, guys. A little bit of review. I hope those couple of problems help you a little bit more on the test. Again, try to do your best on the exam that you can. And tune in tomorrow. We're going to go ahead and go over the test, make sure everybody understands each of those things in Chapter 9. And then on Friday, we'll begin Chapter 10, last chapter of the book. So excellent. Great work today, guys. Have a great night. Stay safe, and I'll see you tomorrow.